on this Wednesday morning, first day out of lockdown. So my name is Claire Mills. I'm a physiotherapist, a Pilates instructor, and co-founder of Foresize London. So we'll just wait for a few more to join. Great. Hi everybody, welcome. Brilliant. Okay, so I think we'll just get started. I'm going to turn all the comments off, okay, just so that it's not going to come up and interrupt the workout. So I'll just turn them all off now. So like I said, my name is Claire Mills. I'm a physiotherapist, Pilates instructor and co-founder of Foresize London. And I'm taking over the We Are Fit and Well Instagram this morning to bring you a Pilates stretch and strengthen session. So this is a full body workout. It is aimed to stretch, mobilise, and then we're combining this with strength and endurance. So it's also suitable for all levels, so I will give you different levels for each exercise. You just work at a level that's good for you this morning with your body. If you're dealing with any injuries, then please just be mindful of that. If you really just need a mat, the only other thing you might want is a Pilates ball, or a yoga block or small cushion, but you absolutely do not need it, okay? So you don't need to have anything at all, as long as you've got a mat somewhere to exercise and enjoy. Okay, so let's get going. So we're going to stand on our mat, and I'm just going to get you to take your feet so they're relatively wide, and you can take it as wide as you feel comfortable. Just soften into the knees and just think about grounding through your big toe, little toe and heel. So you've got a really nice base on that mat. Making sure you've got a good position through your pelvis, so you're not sticking your tailbone out or you're not over tucking under through your tailbone. Find that neutral. And then we're just going to raise both arms up, soften your shoulders away from the ears. Just starting to mobilise into the side of the waist and the ribcage. You're going to inhale, reach up, exhale, release. And imagine you're just sliding your ribcage from one side to the other, keeping your pelvis really controlled. So you should just feel a gentle stretch coming up through the sides of the waist and the ribs. Inhale as you reach, exhale, release. Use your breath to really work into the ribs. 2 more. Last one, releasing your arms down by your side. Then reaching one arm up as you inhale. Exhale, slide over, open up further through that waist. Breath in to hold into the ribs. Exhale, release. Keep grounded through those feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slide. Breath into the ribs. And then exhale, release. Just keep that going one side to the other. Take it as far as you feel comfortable. When you come up, think about pressing up and out of your feet, drawing up through your core as you come up. So you're controlling your spine out of that side bend. We're going to start to then take it into movement through the legs as well. So you're going to come down into a squat and then reach it up. Start to make it a little bit more dynamic. Now when we come down into this wide plie squat, make sure your knees are open. You should just be able to see your big toes as you gaze down. And you want to feel this wrapping round and opening into the back of the hips. So we're doing a little bit into our glutes to help keep that posture. Good. Now hold it here over on this side. Bend into your knees. Reach out through that waist. Take a breath in, breath out. You're going to roll this round into the centre just as far as you feel comfortable and let your head, neck, shoulders relax. Take a breath in, breath out. Slowly start to tuck under your tailbone and roll up through your spine. Roll your shoulders back, grow tall. Change over. Breath in, breath out, reaching. Inhale, exhale, reach and roll. Reach into where you feel you need to stretch today. Let your head, neck, shoulders relax, crown of the head to the floor. Breath in, breath out, pressing up and out of the feet. Maybe cueing a left through deep tummy, pelvic floor as you control it up. One more each side. Roll it round, some nice mobility through the upper back here. Whilst gently warming up through the legs in this wide squat. And you can come out of this point at any position at any point if it feels like the legs are working too much. Good. Releasing the arms in front of you now. Standing up tall, you're going to circle the arm round and then come back into a squat. Exhale, reach it up. Inhale, down. Nice big arm opening. Back in and out of that squat. And again, you can take your squat as deep as you feel comfortable. You can always walk your legs in a little bit. You can even do this without the squat. As you stand tall, really think about squeezing those inner thighs together for 2. Last one. Bring it back into that squat, hands on the hips. Okay, so just starting to work a bit more into the legs now. We're going to raise up through the right heel and then the left heel. Now think about really opening through the hips, this wrapping round from the inside of the knee into your back pocket muscle. Check in with your posture. Make sure your shoulders and your ribcage is stacked right over your pelvis. You don't want your bottom sticking out, your chest leaning forward. Just working into the foot and ankle and calves. Nice, guys, for 4. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. 3, 2, 1. Now can we lift both heels? Raise both heels up as you exhale. Inhale, lower down. You can have a rest at any point if you need to. All these exercises are going to be trying to push the endurance of the muscles that we're working so that we can build that strength. Should feel a nice work coming into your thighs now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your right heel, hold it up. Now stand tall, straighten the legs. Inhale, sit down, but keep that right heel lifted. So you're just being a bit more active through the back of that right leg, working up through the back of the calf. Maybe getting a bit of a stretch through the inner thighs with the change of that foot position. For 5, 4, 3, exhale, lift, 2, 1, change over to the other side, raise the left heel, sit down, exhale, lift, squeeze those inner thighs together. Maybe cue a pelvic floor deep tummy lift. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now from there, go down into your squat. We're going to raise both heels and we're going to stand tall, squeeze those inner thighs together. Inhale, back down. Really focus on that core. Use that breath and really activate through all of the legs to help you lift out of that squat with that heel raise. Try and keep the heels lifted if you can. You can always drop them if you need to. Good. Keep it going for 5. Should start to feel a bit warmer now. 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. Good, so we're going to change now position. We're going to stand at the ends of our mat. We're going to come down onto the mat. So first of all, I just want you to check in with your posture. We work a lot with posture in Pilates. So ground through your feet, big toe, little toe, heel. Grow tall through your spine. I'm pulling you out of the crown of the head. Don't want you to kind of sort of be standing slouching. Then from there, take a breath in, breath out, chin to chest, round through your shoulders, and we're just slowly going to peel it down. Take it to where it feels good for you. Soft knees, keeping a lift through the belly button as you fold over. Take a breath in. Breath out, press up and out of your feet, slowly, mindfully starting to control all the way back up. Rolling those shoulders back, lengthening the neck. We're going to go again. Breath in, breath out, rolling down. Just holding it down here on this one and walking gently out through the legs if that's comfortable for you. Really let the crown of the head fall to the floor so that you can feel like you're really stretching all the way through the back of the body. Just walking through. 2 more. Hold the stretch through the back of the legs. Breath in, breath out, walking your feet down into a 4-point kneeling position. So when we're in 4-point kneeling, we want hips over knees, hands just roughly under our shoulders. We're going to start with a cat stretch to mobilise through the spine, but we're going to tuck our toes to get a bit of activity in the tummy as well. Breath in, breath out. Push into the toes, tuck your tailbone under, and really lift through the belly button, tucking your chin in. And then inhale, release the pressure of the toes and release it out. Slowly unraveling through the spine, gently arching, looking up if comfortable. Exhale, push into your toes, tucking under, rounding. Inhale, release the toe push. So that pressing into your toes, you just activate and energize a bit more into the tummy, make it a little bit more active. Last one. Coming into a neutral position, releasing the toes out, we go into a thread the needle. Breath in, we reach up through the left arm. Exhale, thread through. Tailbone goes out to really reach into that stretch. Keep off the mat. Inhale, lift all the way back up again. So I want you to keep it active. You're not dropping down to the floor. You're really reaching round as far as you can as you lift up. Lift out of the shoulder that's on the mat. Feel that stretch coming around your upper back, but also the work in the shoulders. Last one this side. And then we replace that hand down, we change over. Right arm reaches to the ceiling as you inhale. Exhale, thread it through. Tailbone out, don't tuck your tailbone. Inhale, lift and reach. Really open the chest. How wide can you go? Really nice one if you're stiff, especially if you're working from home at the moment. Getting really stiff through that upper back and release that hand. So from there, tuck your toes for me. We're going to go from a box position, pushing up into a downward dog to create some length and flexibility through our hamstrings. Then from there, we're going to control it back down into your box. You can drop your knees if you need to or hover, and then send them straight back up again. And then controlling it back down as you exhale, inhale, exhale, send it up. Breath in, breath out, control it down, neutral position through your lower back and pelvis as you come into your box. And then push it up. Strong shoulders, shoulders away from those ears. 3, 2. Last one. Taking it all the way back down to the mat. Now from here, I'm just going to give you a couple of different options. If you feel you want to, you can pop a ball or cushion between your knees to help with some tummy activation. Otherwise, keep your feet and knees hip distance. And then from here, the easiest level, we're going to take it out into a kneeling modified plank. Close up through the ribs, dip through the tummy, and then you send your hips back and really reach out through the arms, okay? So you get a bit of a stretch down through the back of the shoulders. So you're going to come forward as you exhale, inhale, exhale back. That's the easier option. Just getting some mobility through the back. Otherwise, we can take that into a full plank position. So we tuck the toes and then we push out into our full plank. Nice strong position. And then send the hips back, but really reach the tailbone high, arms long. Exhale, inhale, exhale, push back. You're breathing out on the effort of the movement to help activate through those deep tummy muscles in your core. Otherwise, you're keeping your knees down and you're just going forward and back. 2 more. Feel that length coming from the spine. Last one. And drop the knees down. Just keep the hips high. Keep the arms reaching forward if that's comfortable through the shoulders. Soften the elbows. Rest the forehead down and just take 3 big breaths into the back of the rib cage. Really feel that expand through the ribs. It's really important that we breathe properly. Breathing helps stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system, helps just calm the body. And then from there, we're going to push up and step our right foot forward. Okay, so we're going to open up through the hips. And we're going to give you again a couple of levels so we can work a bit harder if we want to. So first of all, make sure you've got roughly a right angle through your right knee. Your toes are slightly forward. And then we're going to sweep the hands up as we inhale, push the left hip forward, and really try and lift your ribcage off your pelvis. So you're really reaching, be as active as you can into this stretch. Then from there, you're going to push your right foot into the mat and send your right seat bone out. You can bring your hands to the mat or to your thigh, and you should feel your right hamstring stretching. Keep your back flat. I don't want you to round, because you really want to reach into that high hamstring. Then you're going to inhale, reach up, exhale, fold. So you're going from a left hip flexor stretch, thigh stretch, to your right hamstring stretch. Now, if we want to take that a bit deeper and start to work a bit harder through the legs, we can tuck our toes and we can hover the left knee. So we're in a split leg squat, a lunge, and then we're going to straighten up through that right leg and fold over. Again, feel right hamstring. But if this is too much for you, stick down to the level where we were down on the mat. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, take it back. 4, whichever level you're in, keep it going. 3, ground through that right foot. Focus on your control. If you're up, hovered with that knee. Last one. Hold the stretch in the hamstring wherever you are, whether you're down on the mat or whether you're standing. Straightening out through that leg if you're in standing, sending the seat bones out. Breathe into it. And then you're going to step back into a downward dog position. So wherever you are, take yourself back up into a downward dog. Just hold it here again. Take a couple of breaths. Create that length out through the tailbone, drop the heels. And then you can always bring your knees down towards the mat or just step through. So we're going to go over to the other side. So from there, we'll start with that first variation where we were down on the mat, left foot, slightly forward of your knee, inhale, reach. Exhale, send that left seat bone back. Really feel that lump come into that hamstring. Inhale, reach it up. Lift ribcage off pelvis. Exhale, fold forward. So you can keep it going here, or you might want to come into the more challenging option where you tuck your right toes, you hover up off the mat into that lunge position, and then you exhale, fold, straighten that left leg. Split, standing stretch, and then control it down. Always trickier when you're on carpet on a mat. That's my excuse for my wobble anyway. And then control it down, definitely more wobbly on this side for me. Exhale, fold, really press up through the feet. Use your core. 2. Last one. Hold your stretch in your hamstring wherever you are. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, 1. And we're all going to lower down to the mat. Okay, so we're going to take it on. Sorry about that, guys. Are we there? So we're going to come onto our back. And we're going to just work a little bit, slow it down slightly, just to really focus on the core and mobilising into the hips. So lying on your back with a neutral position through your lower back and pelvis. So you want to make sure here that you're not tucked under and flat through your back, but that you're neutral, okay? So an easy way to find that is heels of the hands on the belly bits of the hips, thumbs to belly button, 4 fingers to pubic bone. You don't want to have your fingers too high or your thumbs, pelvic diamond there. Then from there, we're going to just rest our hands by the side. You can always have something to support your head if you feel uncomfortable with your neck on the floor. And then we're going to go into something called a knee roll. So you're going to inhale, open your right knee out to the side, but keep really still through the pelvis, and then exhale, close it in. And then you're going to go over to the other side. Left knee opens, exhale, close in. Now, this is really easy, okay? But what I just want you to check in with is that you're keeping your pelvis really still. So if my hands were under the base of the pelvis, you wouldn't be rocking one side to the other. So you're really working your pelvic stability. But also that you're not using your big abs for this. We should be able to just control this with our deep tummy and our pelvic floor, that postural muscle system, rather than having to work really hard. 2 more. Now you can always stick to this level. Otherwise, we're going to bring the right leg into tabletop. So we'll all work on the right side, whichever level you're in. You're going to inhale, open your right knee out to the side and through the hip. Exhale, close. The foot comes with you. Now just check in with your left knee. Make sure that's staying really still. You don't want it to wave around. You've got your favourite drink balanced on that. Maybe a coffee at this time in the morning. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Make sure the pelvis isn't tipping. Really think about that inner thigh controlling. Make sure we're not gripping through that deep tummy and that you're getting a nice tension in the middle of your tummy muscles. So you've got good midline tension. One more this side. Changing over. Left knee comes into tabletop. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Same thing. Keep the right knee really still. Just opening up through that hip. Make sure your knee is over your hip. If you're feeling it in your hip flexor, your knee's probably too far away from you. Just bring it in and over so your lower abs can help work. 2 more. Good, lower that foot down. Then from there, we're going to come into a curl up and then into a bridge to mobilise through the spine, but also work through the abs and the glutes. So we're going to start with the curl up position. Again, you may want to have something between your knees to help with your tension in your centre of your tummy. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to curl your shoulders and upper back off the mat, but your tummy should stay flat and your back should stay neutral. You're not squashing your back in the mat. Then from there, release down, release your hands out to the side to open your chest, peel up through your spine into a bridge, pressing up through your hips. And then slowly articulating down through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands come back behind your head, neutral spine, curl up. And we're just going to work in and out of this position. So when you're going up into your bridge, you've got your arms out into like a W position to open the chest. And then you bring your hands back behind your head to curl up, find your little shake, release it down, and then press up through the hips, open up through the hips. Keep going here. Two more. So we're just taking the spine into different directions, flexion and then extension, working the front of the body and then the back. Hold it up here. Then from there, we're going to walk through the legs, one into tabletop and then the other. Now, if this is too challenging, you might just want to hold it, or you might want to drop out of the curl up and just do the knee lifts. Keep the tummy flat for 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing down, arms come out to the side, pushing up into your bridge, holding it here. Walking in your bridge. So either bringing your leg into a tabletop, or if that is too challenging, just walking through the heels. So you can do a heel walk. Keep the pelvis really controlled, soft rib cage. We're working through our glutes. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and controlling all the way down. We're going to roll over and change position now. We're going to come back to 4-point kneeling. So you're on your hands and your knees. Again, it's really important that we keep our good posture here. So I want you to make sure through these series that you keep your hips over your knees so that you don't overload your upper body and that you work your stabilizing hip and bum. So we're going to start moving through the left leg. You can rest at any point if you need to. Your left heel is going to push up to the ceiling. Open up through your left hip. Squeeze your glutes. Inhale, control back. Imagine a tray of drinks on your lower back. I want you to keep it really still. As you exhale, lift. You might want to cue that deep tummy pelvic floor. Keep long through the neck. You don't want to be looking up because that will create tension at the back of the head. And you're using your bottom muscle to try and really open up that hip. Now, if you're quite tight through your hip flexor, just make sure you're not arching your back as you kick up. For 4. Again, we're going to work on endurance here. So upper body, tummy, glutes, everything going to be working. Whole body. And then coming in, we're going to take it out to the side. So you lift your hip out to the side and back in. Exhale, lift it out. Inhale, back in. Now as you lift it out, out, don't lean over onto your right thigh bone. So just gaze down to your right thigh bone and make sure your hip's not sliding out to the right and you're not leaning. If you are, make the movement smaller, make it as tiny as you need to, really engage that core, and make sure your right hip is still over your right knee. You've not crept forward. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to circle. Big circles. Now you can obviously have a rest at any point if you need to. Nice big hip circles here. Mobilizing into that hip, but keeping your core on so your back and pelvis stays controlled. 4. Should feel right bum working a bit now to stabilize if we're in that right position and our bum is on. 2, 1. Now from there you're going to reach your opposite arm and leg away. Now if you can't do both at the same time, we're going to alternate. And then we're going to bring it in as we inhale. Exhale, reach it away. Zip through that tummy, inhale, back in. Really lengthen. Now if we can, we're going to take a tuck into that. Round the spine, control it back out. Round the spine, draw up through the abs, control it out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck now. 3, 2, 1, and release. Just take some circles through the hips and the pelvis before we come onto the other side. Or if you need to, you can release off through the wrists and do some wrist circles. Always an option to come onto your forearms if your wrists are particularly uncomfortable. And we go straight over to the other side. So from here, we're going to send our right heel up to the ceiling, kick. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Making sure, checking in that your left hip is over your left knee, that you're neutral to your lower back and pelvis, that your left thigh bone is staying vertical. And then we start to take it out to the side. So that right leg goes out to the side and back in. Exhale, open, inhale, back in. Remember, you're only taking it out as far as you can keep control through the thigh bone. Keep it going. Last one. We go into our circles, kicking it up and circling it round. Working around that hip joint. Just taking it as far as you feel comfortable, using your left hip to stabilize you. Shoulders away from your ears, long neck. Ribs melted up towards your spine so you're not arching your back. Last one. And then coming out into that opposite arm and leg if you can. Draw it in underneath you as you inhale, exhale, reach. Really work the back of the body, right hip to left shoulder as you reach out, draw that line. And then we add the tuck, we curl it in and we release it out. We tuck it in, exhale, we change the breath slightly. 4. Take it as far as you feel comfortable. You can work at whatever level, whatever variation. 2, 1, and release. Just taking your knees wide, sending your hips back, just sinking yourself down into a child's pose. Just taking nice breaths into the back of the ribs. Feel that length through the fingertips, through the arms. And then slowly rolling yourself up. And we're just going to tuck our toes, press ourselves back into a wide squat position. So if you can't get here with your heels down, you can have support in front of you. But it's just to really try and open you up through the hips. Also gives a little bit of a stretch around the pelvis, the pelvic floor. And then if you can open up through your knees and press your hands together, grow tall through your spine and try and get a bit of a stretch into the upper back as well. Just take some breaths, maybe take a little wiggle. Just reach into any areas that feel any tension from that workout. We work quite hard. Placing your hands down now, and then as you feel comfortable folding up and over and just letting the head hang. slowly drop out through the back of the neck. Heel toe your feet to hip distance. Just walk out through the back of the legs, bending and straightening one knee and then the other. Holding stillness here for a minute. Breathing into the back of the body. Just maybe keep rocking side to side. Again, just wiggle out any tension. Take note of how you feel now down here than when we did the roll down earlier. Take a nice big breath in as you breathe out. Ground through your feet, big toe, little toe, heel, and slowly, mindfully start to stack all the way up through your spine. One vertebrae at a time. Really controlling. Open up your collarbones, lengthen your neck. Find that perfect posture, draw out through the crown of the head and keep that for the rest of the day. Great work, guys. Really good to see you all. This is available on Instagram TV if you want to do it again. Great. Have a good day.